It started small, the way these things always seem to. I'd just moved into a new apartment across town. It wasn't anything fancy, just a third-floor walk-up with creaky floors and rattling pipes. But it was all mine. It felt like a fresh start after a pretty rough couple of years, and the emptiness of the place felt more like an opportunity than a void. I spent that first week painting the walls a sterile, hopeful white and figuring out where my few pieces of furniture should go. My bedroom was the best part of the whole apartment. It had a huge window overlooking a quiet, tree-lined street, and in the morning, the sun would just spill across the floor. The room had a weird shape though, with this deep, 90-degree corner by the closet that I didn't know what to do with. It was just an awkward, empty space. So I left it empty. It became a collector of shadows, a spot the light from the window never quite managed to touch. During the day, it was just a corner, but at night, it was something else. For the first few months, life was almost boringly normal. I went to work, came home, made dinner, and fell asleep to the quiet hum of the city. I was happy, you know, in my solitude. The apartment felt safe, like my own little fortress against a world I was trying to leave behind. I remember thinking, with this real sense of peace, that I could finally, truly rest. I had no idea how wrong I was. That peace was just the quiet before the storm. The house was settling, and so was I. But something else was settling in right along with me. The first time I saw it, I wasn't even sure it was real. I woke up around 3 in the morning with that heart-pounding confusion you get when you're ripped out of a deep sleep for no reason. My room was washed in the dim, orange glow of the streetlight outside. Everything was perfectly still, but something just felt wrong. Some primal part of my brain was screaming at me that I wasn't alone. My eyes scanned the room, desperate to find what was wrong. The window was closed. The closet door was shut. Then my eyes landed on the empty corner. It seemed darker than it should have been. This wasn't just a normal lack of light. It was a deep, absolute blackness. It looked like a patch of night had been cut out and pasted on my wall. A silhouette that just seemed to drink the faint light in the room. I stared at it, my heart thumping a slow, heavy rhythm against my ribs. It's just a shadow, I told myself. My mind's playing tricks on me. My brain, scrambling for an answer, landed on sleep paralysis, or maybe a waking dream. I'd been so stressed, it only made sense that my brain was misfiring, twisting shapes in the dark. I repeated all of this to myself, like a prayer. I squeezed my eyes shut, counted to 10, and when I opened them again, the corner was just a corner. The crushing blackness was gone, replaced by the familiar soft grey of a dimly lit wall. I let out a shaky breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. It was nothing. A trick of the light. I rolled over, pulled the covers up to my chin, and eventually I fell back asleep. But even in my dreams, I felt a cold, patient gaze on the back of my neck. A week went by. Then another. I'd almost convinced myself I'd imagined the whole thing. And then it happened again. The same jarring awakening in the dead of night. The same gut feeling of a presence in the room. Only this time, when my eyes shot to the corner, the shadow was different. It wasn't just a patch of darkness anymore. It had a shape. It was tall and thin. A vaguely human-shaped silhouette that stretched from the floor almost to the ceiling. It had no face, no features, nothing. It was just pure, flat, two-dimensional black. And it wasn't in the corner anymore. It looked like it had peeled itself off the wall. It was standing in the middle of my room, halfway between the corner and my bed. Motionless. Silent. Panic, cold and sharp, shot through me. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. A heavy weight felt like it was pressing down on my chest, and the air in the room turned thick and cold. I was completely paralyzed, a helpless spectator in my own horror story. It just stood there, a void in the shape of a man, and I could feel its silent watch on me like a physical touch. I don't know how long I laid there, frozen in that terrifying scene. It felt like hours. I squeezed my eyes shut, just praying, pleading that when I opened them, it would be gone, and it was. These nightly visits became my new normal. I started to dread the sunset. I tried everything to make it stop. I left the hallway light on, but the shadow would still appear. its darkness somehow untouched by the light filtering into the room. I bought a stupid little nightlight that cast a weak blue glow. The bulb flickered and died within an hour. I tried sleeping with the TV on, hoping the noise and flashing lights would keep it away. But I'd just wake up to a silent black screen and the tall, dark figure standing even closer to my bed. The sleep deprivation was destroying me. During the day, I was a zombie. I walked through my life in a constant fog of exhaustion and paranoia. At work, I'd just stare at my computer, the words blurring into nothing. My friends told me I looked sick, that I was losing weight. I wanted to tell them, I wanted to scream. There's a shadow in my bedroom and it watches me sleep. But how could I say that out loud? They'd think I was losing my mind. Honestly, I was starting to think so too. One night, something inside me just broke. After weeks of fighting it, of panicking, of trying to explain it away, I just gave up. I woke up, and there it was, right where I knew it would be. It was standing right next to my bed now, looming over me, a towering, featureless silhouette against the faint glow from the window. I could have reached out and touched it. The familiar wave of panic started to rise in my chest, but this time, something else followed it. A profound, weary resignation. I was too tired to be scared anymore, too tired to fight. So, I didn't. I just lay there, my head on my pillow, and stared back at it. I looked right into its formless void, the place where a face was supposed to be, and I just waited. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I barely even breathed. We were just two still figures in a silent room, and in that deep, terrifying stillness, the realization hit me. It wasn't a slow thought, it was a sudden, devastating clarity that struck me like a physical blow. All this time, I'd been asking the wrong question. I was so obsessed with what it was. A ghost, a demon, a glitch in my own broken mind. But the real question, the only one that mattered, was what it was waiting for. It never touched me. It never made a sound. It just watched, patiently, night after night after night. I realized it wasn't waiting to attack me. It wasn't waiting to scare me to death. The chilling truth that settled deep in my bones was that it was waiting for something from me. In one of my late-night, desperate internet searches, I'd read folklore about entities that feed on human fear, growing stronger from terror. But this felt different. This thing was waiting for me to not be afraid. My terror was my shield. The panic, the racing heart, the desperate attempts to fight it. That was my defense. It was the wall standing between me and whatever it was. The real horror was understanding that this thing, this shadow, was waiting for the moment my fear finally broke. The moment I became so exhausted, so beaten down, that I finally just accepted it. The moment I gave in, what would happen then? I don't know, but I knew with a certainty that chilled me more than any nightmare that it would be the end. My fear was the only thing keeping me alive, and that's where I am now. My entire life is a carefully managed state of terror. Every single night, before I even try to sleep, I sit on the edge of my bed and I let the fear wash over me. I think about the tall, dark shape. I think about its patient, silent watch. I stoke the embers of my panic because I know it's the only protection I have. The shadow is still here. It's here right now, standing in the corner, just waiting. And I'm lying here, with my heart pounding in my chest, making damn sure it keeps waiting. I have to stay scared, because I know that the night I finally fall asleep without fear is the night I won't be waking up. Have you ever experienced something you can't explain in the dead of night? Share your own stories in the comments, and if you want to hear more, make sure you subscribe. You never know what's lurking in the dark.